Good morning, folks. Welcome to another video. Well, we've got a problem, okay? The fish don't know whether it's winter or whether it's spring, and quite frankly, neither do I. It is before daylight this morning. It's bright and early. We're getting after them today. Folks, I have exhausted every effort imaginable over the last week to try to put a video together. The beach, the pier. I have pulled out all the stops and skunk. So today we're going on more of a winter pattern, okay? They're not on a spring pattern yet. Not entirely, not entirely. There's a few trickling in. Here's what we've done. I've loaded the kayak up today. We're jumping back in the yak and we're gonna go see if these fish are more on a winter pattern right now, or maybe they're just stuck in purgatory. But I don't know what else to do. I've gotta go try something. And so that's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna take you guys along with me. All right, folks, we have arrived. Nice little kayak launch right here. I kind of like it. They got a bathroom and everything. First time launching here. Actually already put the kayak in the water down here, so we're good to go. Beautiful sunrise coming up right there. I like these kayak launches because you can just slide it on down in there so much better. There we go. You know, I didn't think I was gonna have to get back in a kayak for a while, at least not in an upper bay system. Here we are, folks. You know, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and achieving the same results. Well, that's what I was doing trying to beach fish right now. I'd get like 2 bites a day. You know, you got to make sure all your GoPros on the right settings. Filming and fishing is easier said than done. There's so many little bitty things that goes into it, and I'm still learning. I'm still learning a lot about it. Even though I've been doing it forever, I learn every day, and I'm open-minded to change. I think that's one of the most important qualities. If you're running a business, doing anything in life, be open-minded to change and be open-minded to other people's perspective. I'm gonna start with a little soft plastic right here. We're just gonna work this area good, and then we're gonna sneak back into some back water and see if we can find some fish back there once the sun gets up. Oh, guys, first cast. Unbelievable. I was checking my drag and I got hit first cast. You gotta be kidding me. What in the world? Okay. I didn't even get, that was a pretty good hit too. All right. Okay. I was just going like this to kind of make sure my drag was set properly, and something hit it, of course. Terrible timing. I haven't hit this particular area in 2 months. I don't know that I've ever hit this area this late in March. I mean, we're usually out of winter mode by now, and we usually have just tons of spring fish coming down the beach, but for some reason they're a little late this year. Switched over to a Meridine just to see if I can get a reaction strike here. Fish a little quicker, maybe find some schools. Oh, there's a fish. Oh, come on. There he is. What in the world is going on here? Oh my gosh, guys. There are still speckled trout in here. Hey, he came off. Good. All right, we broke the ice. We broke the ice. That was cool. This is my winter time spots. Like January, December, January. Maybe into February, but I thought that was going to be a largemouth bass, just because it's just, I mean, should be spring, but nope, that was a trout. We're going to ease right through here. This is just a little canal that opens up into a big basin like back here, and I switched over to a Berkeley Gulp shrimp. I think there's probably a redfish back in here somewhere.
And this right here, folks, is when things kind of take a turn for the worse for me. I've never had this happen in my entire life when it comes to filming and fishing. I've been fishing all week on the struggle bus, hitting every spot known to man, and I finally hook a good fish, and this is what my GoPro does. My GoPro completely turns black. I don't know what the heck happened, but you can barely see me hook this fish right here. I'm just like, can't even believe this is happening.
There he is. I got him. I got him. We are on, y'all. Good fish, I think. Good fish, I think. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Good fish. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I knew it, y'all. I knew it. Good gracious. Man. All right, let me get the net. That's a netter for sure. Oh yeah, real good one. Come on, buddy. Come on. This is where I tend to lose them in the kayak right here. Oh my gosh. What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? We got this one. Hey, look what a fish right here, y'all. We haven't done a redfish video in a long time. I'm taking this guy home for dinner too. That is a beautiful, probably 23-inch redfish, something like that. Perfect slot fish to take home for dinner.
Now, thankfully, I turned my cap mount on just a little ways into the fight, so we did get a lot of that fight on camera. I would not be nearly as disappointed in that had I not been struggling all week to get a good bite.
That gives me confidence because now I know there's fish in here. Prior to that fish, I wasn't 100% sure. Oh, I hope we caught it on the back camera there.
You didn't catch it on camera, Brent. Back camera didn't get it. Yeah. And just like magic, the back GoPro starts working again. The fish gods are definitely laughing at me this week.
Got that one on this little gulp shrimp right here. I was just going along pitching docks, and this broken down dock, hey, we found one. I'm just gonna keep fishing slow now that I know there's fish in here. Oh man, you've got to be kidding me. Dadgummit, I'm hooked on some cable. All right, that's a good time to regroup. Dadgummit. Dang it. Okay, let's regroup. I like to work this gulp very slowly. And the reason why is I've done a ton of sight fishing. And when you sight fish, you see how these fish react. And so a lot of times you'll pop it off the bottom like this, and then it'll just sit on the bottom, and they'll pick it up while it's sitting on the bottom. And so if you're working it too quickly, a lot of times they'll shy away from it. Let me show you how I'm rigging today real quick. I've got this Toadfish Elite Series rod. Now I've used a lot of Toadfish over the years. They sent this to me. Probably the best Toadfish combo I've ever fished with. 10-pound braided line. I also have my Quantum. I've got my Quantum Strive 3000 reel with 10-pound braided line with a Quantum Myth rod. Both great inshore combos. I've got a I really love the 10-pound braided line when I'm doing this type of fishing because it allows me to make long casts on the flats where I can, where I don't spook these fish. And that is really, really important when you're flats fishing. Got a 1/4 ounce jig head, Berkley Gulp shrimp. I think if I blind cast this bank, I'm gonna run into a good one. There's just too many mullet. I've seen some mud puffs going, which that means there's some fish in here. Look at the mullet, yeah. There we go, there we go, there we go. There we go. Hey, I told you we were going to, oh, that's a trout. Nice trout too. Hey, that's a good keeper. Nice keeper trout right there, folks. We're just grinding away. We are grinding away. And we are putting something together here. No, that didn't sound good. Dang it. Well, I think we're all right. There he is. There's a fish. Wasn't really paying attention. Another trout, I believe. Yep. Oh, he came off right there. I was going to show it to you, but he came off. All right, folks, we are making the way back to the ramp. We're gonna go cook up that redfish for lunch. Gonna make a few more casts here and just see if I can get bit heading back to the ramp. I don't know. Ooh, what is that? No, it's a mullet. Just kidding. Just kidding. The water is clear here, dang. That's real clear. All right, folks, we are back at the house, and I gotta say, fishing was tough, but you know what? I'm putting this video up to show you guys that it's not always easy out there for us. You know, a lot of times I have to grind. This is real life. I wanna show you guys real life on the channel, but hey, we still managed to catch some fish. The goal was to catch dinner, which we did. We got a nice red right here. You know, redfish are not the easiest fish to clean, especially when your knife's not that sharp. I had a newer Dexter Russell that I've been using, and I can't find it. So I'm having to go with the older Dexter Russell, and it is not very sharp. I've been cutting bait with this for about a year. But you know what? We're gonna do our very best. It's always important to use a sharp knife when you're cleaning fish. And I need to take my own advice here. But you know what? We're doing okay. We're gonna make it work. All right, that was a success for having a dull knife. And you know, tell you something funny. Not everything is gonna be perfect. Like I came in here today thinking that I was gonna have a sharp knife, and I couldn't find it, but we still have a really nice fillet right there. And you know, I actually had that happen to me one time when I was running fishing charters. I got back to the dock and we had a ton of sheep's head to clean. And if you know sheep's head, they're very tough to clean. And for some reason, it was just stupid of me. It was right in the middle of me running doubles, and I'd left my good fillet knife set at home. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, I had to clean like 15 sheep's head with a bait knife. Worst experience ever, but we got it done. We made it through. And folks, there's our little redfish fillets. We're gonna do the other side of this guy right here, and then we're gonna have us a little lunch. Folks, we got us some pyro powder right here. I've been using that a lot with my fish. and we're gonna season up our redfish. It's very similar to Tony's, but it works great. I actually like the flavor a little better than Tony's. I like to cook redfish at a high heat, so that's why I like to do it outside, but hey, nothing like smoking up the house, huh? We're gonna throw some olive oil on the pan here. As you can see, Melanie actually has chicken broth cooking over here, and that is for a soup that we're gonna have for dinner. All right, folks, fresh redfish and buttered rice. That is what's for lunch. And I want to give a huge shout out to my wife, Melanie. She is behind the camera, and she's the one that helps me with all these cooking videos. And so anytime you see something that's like a really good presentation, like this plate right here, or anytime we do something unique with cooking, that's not me. That's all Melanie. She's very, very talented in the kitchen. So y'all shoot her a big thumbs up. But folks, let's give this redfish a try. This is fresh redfish straight from Blackwater Bay. Man, I really love that pyro powder. Y'all gotta try this. That pyro powder from Uncle B's Heat Lab is really, really tasty. Like I said, it's very similar to Tony's. I like the flavor of it a little bit better, and it goes great with redfish. So folks, if you enjoyed that video, go ahead and shoot me a big thumbs up. I know I didn't set the world on fire out there fishing, but hey, you don't catch them like every single time, all right? But we had a good time trying. Everything I'm involved with linked in my description below, folks. We will catch you next time.